250 Gemstones culture represents a nation of people that strive for excellence and greatness every single day. We are more than journalism. We are a revolution. Come on, let's kick this door down and let everybody know we up in here. 150 Gemstones News TV channel. I am your host, Michael T. Port, and I'm bringing the news to your ass like no other. This is a channel that represents a nation of people that strive for excellence and greatness every single day. I got another bomb news segment for y'all, but before I begin, y'all hit that like button, the subscribe button, and share button. Hit that notification bell so you know when I am dropping. And if you'd like to support the mission, the movement, the culture, the channel, Cash App $ Michael US. A certain group out there would like black people to believe that we are not under attack. They would like us to believe that there ain't no racism in America. They like us to believe that there ain't no racial profiling. There aren't any biased people. They actually want our future generation of black children to understand or believe slavery never happened. They want our children to believe and learn that slavery never happened. And if they still, don't fall for the banana in the tailpipe, they want our black children to understand that slavery was actually beneficial to us. Well, let's ask the victims of this slimeball cop, this no good detective, this piece of crap, this coward. This cop was out there touching black women for decades. And when his time came to face the music, he was charged. They gave him a court date. And on that date, he was assigned to show up. He took his own life because he did not want to face the music. He did not want to face the victims. He did not want to face the witnesses. He did not want to face the jury. He's a coward, one of the worst of the worst. I got a video I want to play for y'all, and I'm going to be right back with you to give you my opinion. Let's go.
That breaking news we begin with here. The man accused of heinous crimes spanning over 3 decades is dead, according to prosecutors. Roger Golubski was a KCK police detective charged in assaults that happened in the late 90s and into the 2000s.
Now, we learned of Golubski's death just this morning, the same day as his federal trial was set to begin. Now, many of Golubski's accusations happened while he was employed with the KCK Police Department. Those include sexually assaulting women. And again, today was supposed to be the first trial to come from all of it, where he was charged with violating the civil rights of 2 women. The second federal accusation involves a sex trafficking ring at an apartment complex. He also faced several civil lawsuits.
And we have live team coverage for you on this breaking news story here at noon. KCTV5's Gianni Navarro is live in Topeka, where the trial was supposed to begin. But we begin with KCTV5's Grace Smith, who is at a boat dock in Edwardsville. We're waiting here on an update from police on this case, Grace.
Yeah, Carolina, we are just a little bit down off of 9th Street, where you can see there is still a lot of police activity. They are in front of Golubski's home. Now, when we arrived at about 10 a.m. this morning, take a look at this video. I immediately saw police crime scene tape around the house and a couple of detectives going in and out of the home as well. The Wyandotte Mobile Command Center was also on scene. A lot of eyes on that home there as we work to figure out what exactly led up to his death. Now, neighbors, I did knock on a few doors, and some neighbors didn't want to comment at all, and others say that they just heard a lot of police sirens early this morning and looked out just to see a swarm of police. Now, we are still waiting on the Edwardsville police chief to give us those updates as to what exactly happened, what exactly led up to his death, and we have been on scene since 10 a.m. this morning. A lot of police work to find out exactly what happened. We'll send it back to you guys.
Yeah, and obviously that police presence prompted when he didn't show up in court. So our team coverage continues here as we go live to our Gianni Navarro, who is in Topeka. Gianni, I'm sure there was so much confusion and now shock for people who were waiting for that jury selection to get underway today.
Yeah, Carolina, I'm going to kind of backtrack and talk about the details of what happened and what led up to the event after we found out that Golubsky died. Now, he was supposed to appear in court this morning, like you have mentioned, but when his attorneys came in, Golubsky was not there. His attorney said that Golubsky was not going to show up because he was, quote, despondent over the media attention of the trial. That's when the judge issued a warrant for his arrest and expected him to be brought to court. Jury selection was supposed to reconvene this afternoon, but instead court reconvened about 2 hours later. It was then his attorney that told the court that Golubsky was dead. Several people have been watching the case. They came up to the federal courthouse this morning to call for justice, holding signs and demanding that was brought. I was able to catch up with an attorney who was representing Lamont McIntyre, a man who was wrongfully convicted of murder and blamed Golubsky for setting him up. This is what she had to say about hearing Golubsky died by suicide.
People who were a part of this case or maybe not a part of this case for reasons of their own, but they've all waited for years for justice, and they have now been deprived of that opportunity. And I think everyone, the community at large, and certainly all of them, deserve a full investigation, an explanation of what happened, how it happened, and why it happened.
Would y'all like my opinion? Would y'all like some of this 250 Gemstones News TV commentary? Well, of course you do. That's why your ass is here. This man is absolute trash, and he's been doing this for years. These cops that are on this police force, I think they deliberately pick the worst of the worst far as recruiting cops. I don't know who's over the recruiting process, the manager, the head person, but they need their ass fired too. Roger Golubsky, that's his man's name. This demon in a police uniform, R-wording black women, S-A-ing black women, as young as 13 children. He's a pedophile. And they want black people not to be fearful of when these people roll up on us. You don't know what these people's intentions are. We don't know what these people's motives are. We don't know if you're a good cop or a bad cop, because there's no such thing as a good cop, because bad cops exist. Because the good cops should have turned them in, but they're not going to turn them in because it's a brotherhood, it's a gang, it's a club, right? So they're not going to do the right thing and get these POS officers off the force. They're not going to turn them into the chief. They're going to wait till a whole bunch of victims get violated, and it has to be a victim to come forward and go through the humiliation and go through the embarrassment and go through the uncomfortable process of bringing their trauma to the public. So in other words, a black woman who has been assaulted by an officer like Golubsky will have to go publicly, and everybody will have to know that something heinous has been done to her. That in itself is, I want to use the word embarrassment. I don't know if it's appropriate. I guess uncomfortable. I say uncomfortable. Because you shouldn't feel embarrassed, because he should feel embarrassed. Not the victim. He should be embarrassed because he's a creep. His mama raised a creep. His daddy's probably a creep. They probably touched him when he was small. His parents should be embarrassed to even giving life to this piece of trash. But they have to go through this rigorous and vulnerable process of letting the world know that cops like Golubsky are out here, and then they have to go to court, and then they have to actually run the risk of what if this cop has ties to the streets, and what if the cop pays somebody to get this victim up out of here so she can't testify. You dealing with some animals. Most cops are animals. Well, all cops are animals. But technically there are some good ones that actually try and do their job. But I think those are like the new ones. The ones that just hit the police force. But if you've been on the police force for 5, 10, 15 years and you have turned no cop in, you just as guilty. In the same breath, they want the black community to help them. No, nigga, You know what's going on because you work with these animals. You mean to sit there and tell me this man been in the workforce for 30-something years and nobody knew about this? It takes a victim, it takes a young lady to sum up the bravery within herself, to call on God, to give her the strength to go through this uncomfortable ordeal, to publicize her trauma in order for something to happen when the cops that's already on the force know what kind of man this is already. He's already in children and then using the badge as some type of shield. He's supposed to be stopping the perverts, but he's a pervert himself. He's committing the very heinous crimes he's supposed to be stopping or locking people up for doing. He's doing the exact same thing. He knew that he was going to get life out of there because I think a lot of people got tired of his ass. They finally found the courage, especially if you're a black person trying to lock up a white person. Ooh-wee. But at the end of the day, it's black folks. And it seems like black folks, do you know every time a black person kind of gets it, when I mean gets it, put God first, don't take no shit, get your finances together, stick together. We're only going to make sure our people get ahead. We're only going to make sure our kids learn what we need them to learn so they can be prosperous. When especially when black men act like men, they come up with all types of, you're racist for calling out white folks. You're racist for standing up and not including white folks in your plan. What? We've been asking y'all for help for years and you ain't giving nigga shit. And then when the nigga find out the plan, what they do? They try to brainwash you, and then when they can't brainwash you or sabotage your plan, they get you up out of here. Anytime a black man acts like a damn man, America gets terrified. Not just an individual black man, but what if millions of black men started acting like black men, take care of their damn kids, ain't taking shit from the cops, start suing, start using the legal system. That's what I mean by start using the legal system to push back. We're going to protect our kids. We're going to build our own schools. We're going to build our own communities. We're going to build our own homes. Especially out here in Texas, they're giving the land away. So I think as black people, not all, but a good handful of black folks, this racist system has, in conjunction, caused the chaos in the black community. As black people and as white people, racist white folks, the system has contributed to the downfall of black folk. I think it's equal. We have a lot of work to do as black men, and we have the system has a lot of work to do because they have to lock people up in order to make money. So they're going to come up with all kind of ways to keep you depressed, keep you away from God, encourage you to have men go up your butt, make it cool not to take care of your kids. And I don't know too many men that don't want to be around their kids. I know hood niggas. I know men who just can't wait to see their kids. They can't stand the mama, but they love them babies. It's a lot going on, and I can go on and on and on. I think I'm gonna go on and on tonight. I'm gonna do a podcast tonight. Screw it. Because what I'm learning on this internet is that in order to get big money, you have to troll. Troll meaning you have to be absolutely one side. I'm not absolutely one side. I'm not gonna blame everything on the prejudice and the wickedness of the system alone, and not call out my black folk. But I'm not going to just only call out black folk, knowing that there's a system in place to prey not on people's color of people, but prey on a status of people, poor people. This system preys on poor people. It preys on black folk. It preys on people who love God. So, we can go on all day. But I'm glad that the victims came out. This man is a coward. Once again, if you guys want to check out, look this man up, it's Roderick Golubsky. I think that's Ukraine or that part of the world, Russian. He's a sick bastard. Keep your hands off our black queens. 250, capital G. Those of you that have been supporting me since day one, I appreciate y'all. Those of you who just found the channel, I appreciate y'all too. Maybe I'll start doing this in the beginning. Maybe I'll start staying longer. Or maybe I'm going to do it at the beginning and the end. I know I'm going to do it at the beginning and the end of the videos, but I appreciate y'all. I appreciate y'all. 250 capital G News. I'm gone.